Okay, so I thought I'd do a little tour of the old world we had, but unfortunately the newest version of that world wasn't saved before we moved to 1.20. So unfortunately, this is the world as it was a week before we decided to stop playing and move to 1.20. So this is the starter house. It's a right mess, but it is where it is. We had it up here. I built this on the first day and gradually filled it over the week with the create mod starting utensils and the cooking mod stuff. And a really makeshift poor storage system there. And then we have the first train station over here. This one is we've missed. We've missed both of them. So this is where the nether train comes. Now I mentioned in the other video about the infamous Nether Express, which used to run us over. This is where it comes from. So we'll start the tour through here and hope that it works. So yeah, as you can see, you walk out this way and straight onto a platform. The train comes out the other side. This is where the first block that was broken in the game for bedrock access to the roof and nether was, so we just left the block here as a memento once we got the nether portal set up. And if we fly down here, this is the way the Nether Express goes. I don't actually have an enchanted elytra, so this is probably not going to survive for the whole tour. But yeah, we used to walk along and leave torches as a trail, a breadcrumb trail, and then I'd come through with the old train tracks and build train routes. So this is just a little bus that takes you from where we just were to this point here. And this point here is where we used to get our supplies that were in the wintry biomes. And all those types of things. Now, it's been a while since I've actually been on this world. I could have sworn there was an area that had access to a wither skeleton farm. Just keep going this way. Yeah, I can't actually remember where it was. So we just flew all that way. And then if you fly this way, it takes you to the ranch, but I think I destroyed that nether portal a long time ago. So we're not going to use it. And that bus is on its way. And it'll go around and come here. And hopefully the Nether Express is not waiting. Good. So we'll follow the line and try not to die in the process, please. Woo. So this area here is Enchantershire. This is where my sister started building her little town. All I did was like redstone and create mod things, so that's a functional clock tower. She has a functional farm offloader here. She also has a functional gantry up there, which goes all the way down here for her little mine, which like a little quarry mine down here. Like I say, unfortunately we didn't save the world before we left, so certain area over here that I excavated for her, as you can see, eaten this entire area of the mountain. She'd actually built some things here, and like I say, we didn't save that version of the world, so it's not here. But she built a lovely cherry blossom like tree before 1.20 came out, and then a couple of shops, and then it had a little pathway going here. But this mountain was still a bit of an eyesore. So that's the little enchanter area, and then the train would go down this way. And again, in the new version of the world, it would stop here, and we would have our fully automated sorting system here, which unfortunately doesn't exist here. And then further up here is the factory. Now the factory has a bus. It's called the Cliffs, this place. It has this bus which runs between my sister's village and here, and then another bus that runs from here to a place called the Ranch, which we'll visit soon. And this was the factory. So this is where all the storage is. It's a mess, and this is before it got moved. And then we had our like little auto crafting thing here. This is where the villagers live, so they go upstairs into the apartments, which look a little bit like this. They're not fancy. And then the villagers would walk around in here doing villagery things. And we had this little box here would separate wood, so it would get stripped or sliced into planks, and then slabs would just go through here and be turned into rail. Now that's from a special effects mod. There's a lava source under here that is infinite, and then in here is where the librarians would be. So then they gather here for lunch, and then this would be for chocolate, and we processed a lot of chocolate bars. We used to have a counter here in the updated version of the world where it would count each chocolate bar that was made, and unfortunately that's not there now. So we have this is the chest where everything that would be broken down would end up. I don't think we have anything that can go in there. So yeah, there's that guy up there. He's what processes the chocolate and melts down honey, and then we have the lever to control this entire section of the factory right there. So it's not in a very ideal place. It's like this little bit of the factory is controlled by this lever. Unfortunately, I'm not my normal size. I would actually be half the size of a block, so I would be able to go under here and show you the inner workings of the factory's boiler. I might be able to another way, but not that way. This door's broken, but it was where I built my little bus trains that you see here, and I'd send them on their way. Whereas the big trains were built in the nether, where there was more room. So this is the primary boilers. The water source is infinite underneath, and then we have an infinite lava source, like I said, below the factory, which would feed up here, and this would feed the guys which are under here. So yeah, the arm can actually reach through the solid blocks. It's nearly night, so we should get bed ready. There we go. Unfortunately, like I said, again, this is an outdated version of the world, so I'm just going to quickly say this area was more refined after this world download that I have. But items you'd input into the chest would go and be sorted, so things that get crushed would go in here, and other things would just be destroyed because it was just for crushing. So yeah, we have another train that comes from the ranch, which is our farm place, and it would come here, offload the milk, and the sugar and the cocoa beans, and they would go onto this conveyor belt. The milk would go into the tank and run in there, and the cocoa beans would come out and over here and put in there with the sugar. Now the sugar cane would carry on through here and then go into the crusher, and then from the crusher they would get separated from all the other bits and bobs, come up this and then around there where a mechanical arm would feed the machine. And then the more recent world would also have all this clear, and there would be a fireworks factory here which had automated gunpowder farm which used cinder flour. And this machine here takes you all the way down there. That's very dangerous at the moment, so we can call it to come up, and this would take us down to bedrock level where there's another underground train line, which was where I originally got all my lava from, because there was a giant lava lake, so I moved it via train into a tank, and then the tank would pump over here. A regular lava farm would probably be way more efficient, but that's what I wound up doing. That little bus that went by was the ranch bus. So yeah, it's a hodgepodge of different materials that we used for laying the foundations of the track, whereas now I'm trying to be a bit more consistent. So yeah, this snake's quite a way away. Hopefully we won't get run over by the Nether Express. You never know. It's a dangerous train. It always sneaks up on you. And I had to actually build 2 lines because the waiting time was ridiculous between the 2 stations when it was just 1 line. Because the Nether Express runs beyond the reaches of most of the other trains. Oh no, is this a chunk load error? Is it just laggy? I think it's both. Yeah, this don't look good. So I think what I might do is fly away from here if I can, because it's struggling with that. This is one of the issues with having a really big world where you run your trains in the overworld exclusively. It gets very laggy. I'm just going to leave that as deep dark. We're going to just go straight to the ranch, if it will allow it, which I don't think it is. I think the game is not happy at the moment with what I just did. Well, unfortunately, we might have to end the tour here. Yep, it looks like it. Well, unfortunately, that's probably it. Not much more I can really say or do to fix this. Because it's just gonna hang like this now, I think. Oh no, we wait and we get rewarded. So the ranch is quite far away. It has a little house, little enchanting area, little bedroom. This was where I used to spend most of my time until I did the work on the factory. Oh, this is the Nether Express. This is the infamous train, and it's glitched out. So there should be like windows like these here, but because of the way that it's generated in this version of the world, it doesn't look quite right. But you had to climb up. There'd be first class we can't sit in because it's first class. What are you doing in first class? You're a peasant. You sit in the back here with everybody else. You sit on these. I don't know where this one... Is it going to... This one's going to my sister's village, and we don't want to go that way. But yeah, this train is the long haul train. This is the one that runs all the long way in the overworld, and then it goes through the nether as well. And for some reason the lantern is not connected to the front of the train like it used to be. So yeah, anyway, over here, this windmill is it's from Towns and Towers, and then I modified it to work with create mod. So this is the one that's generating all the power, that runs all the gizmos in here. So this is where all the cocoa beans come from, and all the other bits and bobs, sugar cane and food. And it gets an automatic sorting here, so any seeds get put into this composter below, which you can see down here. And then everything else comes into here, where cocoa beans are automatically thrown down into that conveyor belt. Everything else I have to do manually, so let's just do an example with these tomatoes. From the Farmer's Delight mod. And then I'd put the crate in there, it would go down, it would get onto the conveyor belt, and it would go up here. And we can grab honey, milk and water whenever we wanted. Up above is just hay, it's decorative. So this is the same cow milking farm as I have in the New World, it's just poorly hidden here. It's not hidden at all in the New World. And then it gets loaded into here, so I can... The only way I could have switched between honey and milk is by swapping these pipes back in the day. And then everything else, that tomato crate goes around here and into this. And this train will not move until I sit on the back, which I'll do soon, I imagine. But we have nothing else really here. There's just some animals over there in that barn. And all that jazz. So if I actually ride on the back of this, it's probably going to have to load chunks. But I did it like this so that when it's unloading, it will actually unload, because with the create mod, trains won't unload their cargo unless the chunk is loaded. So we can see now that it has quite a few cocoa beans and stuff in it. But yeah, trains, lots of trains. I was train mad, and I'm going to be train mad again in this new world, because I've learned a lot from when I did this one. So yeah, I've got quite a way. So then I really want to fly along the track, but I also believe it's probably gonna hang and be really laggy again. We'll try. So yeah, the track ran all this way. And yes, we have chunk errors here because it's generated some new chunks after I'd purged the old world. So every time I would load the world up, I would delete chunks away from where we built so that it saved memory. So that's why this house is just a wall. So that's the perimeter of where I would have cut the chunk. Let's see, can we keep going? So that little bus that just went by, that goes to a place called Red Rock Mesa, which is where we were going, but I don't think I'm going to go all the way. It's a long journey. And the Nether Express goes that way as well, so it actually travels I think it's 3,000 or 4,000 blocks. It's a long haul train. And then it also does stuff in the nether as well. So yeah. I don't think... I have a spider farm. This spider farm is not very efficient, but we found a spider spawner here. Or that might be a cave spider spawner. But one of them's a spider spawner and the other's a cave spider spawner. One of them's in there, one of them's there, and then there was this one here. But I didn't use that one. And what we did was, if we turn this on, the farm activates, and they when they spawn they go on the conveyor belt, and then they usually get stored like that. There we go. I don't think the top ones are working. But yeah, this is basically the string farm and spider eye farm and occasional bones because of the spider jockeys. This was one way of getting string, which we used for a lot of things. I don't think... No, there's no tunnel bore stuff there. So let's see, where else is there? The bottom of the cliffs is just... So the factory, as I showed, like the gantry that I'd done or something up there, comes all the way down here. And this is where the lava was transported from the lava lake. And it fed up into the area where it became an infinite lava source. And then I decided, alright, I'm going to use this train for travelling between where we are and an ancient city that I found. Because this is 1.19.2. As you can see, there's a lot of lava around. And, yeah. It goes on for ages. Now, this was cut out with a tunnel bore. It was relatively easy to do. Cleaning up the lava wasn't fun, though. I will really admit that. So, let's... It was quite a way away. And I also used to prune the chunks that I got the lava from regularly, so I would always have some. But it looks like it's struggling to keep up. We're going to run out of rockets soon. Be nice to get to where we want to go. Nearly, I imagine. Yeah, it's a long, long way. We got a lot of diamonds out of this tunnel. And we're out of rockets. So hopefully we're not too far, but this is not something I intend to do in our new world. Ah, yeah, we are close. We're really close. So this over here, we can take the train back because it shouldn't move unless you sit on it, I think it was. This is where I was collecting all the lava, and as you can see, it's full. Just so this guy doesn't run off, I'm going to take the schedule. Just get up here. Throw that in there. I don't know why I did that. I'm not probably going to come back. But yeah, used to just power it all the way. This is the lava lake in question. It used to be, I think it used to be up to... I think it used to be up to where I'm standing. Because it used to go over here as well. And I completely cleared it out so that I could continue with the tunnel bore through. And then I moved the pipe over here, and it's still slowly eating this away. This is what I've been doing. I've just been stealing the lava from here and feeding it into my factory, but this is redundant now. I didn't actually need it anymore. I should have dismantled it for server optimization, but it is what it is. I don't think there's a chair in here. Oh wait, no, there is. So if I give this back to you and I sit here, will you go? No? Right, I'm driving. So this train will run all the way to the ancient city. Why have we reached the end of this track? Are we missing one piece? No, you're just... Why? Why? Is it that corner? Well... I don't think I can... Oh yeah, I can click on a track to relocate, so we'll move over here. Don't you dare go without me. Right. We'll just drive back. This just used to go all the way to an ancient city in a loop. Nothing amazing. We'll stick to the right. And ride this all the way back. So there was also with a rose farm and with a skeleton farm, but it was so long ago since we played this world, I can't actually remember how to get there. I'd probably need to do a little bit more re-exploring to figure that one out. But here's a question: is it actually faster going on the train than it is with the elytra? Because it's struggling to load again. There we go. I actually think going in the train is faster than flying with the elytra when you get the train to go full speed. But then again, it's probably deceptive. Are we there yet? Nope. It was faster to do it that way. Oh. So yeah, we respawned up on the tree. That's where we originally spawned. We died many times just trying to get down to the spawn house. See where I died? Yeah, it's just faster to get run over than it was to ride the train back. So yeah, that's the relatively short tour of the old world we had. It's not a fantastic world, but we learned quite a lot doing it and how to do the new worlds better. We can't use this because reasons. And yeah, we'll see you back in our world. So bye.